we live in a country where we don't benefit from our own labor, right? It's like at every turn, there's always some type of scheme, some legal scheme or government scheme to take our money out of our pockets. If it's not like the over excess of paying taxes, right? And we're a country founded on not paying taxes, right? To have like over 70, with taxes over 17 times, 18 times with everything, right? That on top of the fact that the conditions in this country, we don't have free healthcare, we don't have all this other stuff, right? I just saw a woman who complained because she bought her first house and realized that she had to pay interest for the first 10 years before she could bring down the principal. And
she didn't know that?
Nah. And she's been in the house for 8 months, and she's just like, I paid 20 something thousand, and only like 1,800 went to the principal.
Yeah.
The rest was towards interest.
Yeah, girl.
You know what I mean?
Make that extra payment.
You see what I'm saying? And she's like, I don't have any more money to make an extra payment.
Yeah, it's crazy
because she pays $2,000 a month to interest.
Listen. My issue is the soft, what is it, soft guy era?
Yeah.
Soft guy era.
I get all of that. Cool. But there should, somewhere along the line, something has been disconnected from I don't want to say the gender roles or whatever that may be, but you can't be the man. And I put all of this attached to when you are a husband or a wife, not when you are a boyfriend and a girlfriend. I'm going to say that much. Because I feel like you'll post this and people will yell at me, but it's okay. I don't care. I'm not going to read the comments anyway. But there should never be a time that anyone, like me, I should never be questioned about what I bring to the table once you meet me. You meet me, I have my own fucking table. Right. So don't ever question.
But again, in this country, that's what it is. That's why when you go to other countries, I just saw a video where a woman was talking about the U.S. is not normal. And she's talking about how she's in Georgia, right? The country, not the state, right? She's in Georgia and she has to pay the rent. She just moved into a place and the guy who comes collecting the rent, something happened. He forgot to give her some form and he didn't give it to her for a couple of days. So she's ready with her argument in her head why she's not going to pay a late fee for the rent. You know what I mean? She already made up the argument in her head to have a conversation that she doesn't need to have. Right? Because when she speaks to the guy and she's just like, hey, I'm not, she starts off, I'm not paying any late fees because, you decided to come like a week late to collect the rent. And he's like, what? She's like, I'm not paying any late fees because you came a week late to collect the rent. He's like, what are you talking about? And she's just like, what do you mean? What am I talking about? You're going to charge me a late fee or else I'm going to lose the apartment, right? He's just like, what? Why would you lose the apartment? She's like, because I'm paying the rent late. He's just like, but you're not paying the rent late. She's just like, yeah, 7 days. It was due on this date. And now you're coming to collect it and you want an extra fee. And he's just like, no, I don't want an extra fee. Why would I charge you an extra fee? I'm coming to collect the rent. But in her head, because she lived in the United States, she has to have all these excuses because that's what happens in the United States, right? Mm-hmm. And this is what she said. She said after having that discussion with that guy, she realized how backwards the United States is because he was just like, I'm just here to collect the rent. Here's the documents that you asked for. I got the documents for you. Sign them, blah, 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 blah. She was just like, so you don't charge late fees? He was just like, no, you pay the rent when you can pay the rent. She was just like, so what if I can't pay the rent after a couple of months? He's just like, we'll work something out. She's just like, so you're not going to kick me out? He's just like, no one that I've ever known. And she said this guy was in his 40s. She said, no one that I've ever known, or he said that no one that I've ever known has ever gotten evicted. And I'm 40 something years old. He was just like, it doesn't happen. And she was just like, wait a second. So even if you don't have money, we'll work something out.
Exactly. What the fuck you want them to do? They don't have money. Like,
do you understand what I'm saying? Like he's just like, we'll work something out. And she was just like, do you know if you go and buy a new construction in Georgia, right? There's no interest.
That'd be nice.
They don't charge interest. She was just like, they don't charge interest.
I
She was
ain't
just
a-
like, you
Where's
can
that
get a
at?
construction in
Is that
Georgia,
like
the
in?
country. It's in Eastern Europe.
No,
She was just like, you could get a brand new house, nice house in Georgia for $50,000, right?
I'm
And
about
what
to
they'll
go
do
out
is
there.
they'll ask you for a deposit, and then you make monthly payments or you pay whenever you can until they finish the house. She was just like, but what about the interest? She's like, there's no interest. You pay what you owe for the house, and that's it.
I'm moving there. I'm
And
done.
and
I
and
know. I'm like about
that
to go over there.
that is a lot of the world.